All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am once again Mr. Soul of a Man, 50 to the four, and today we are talking about spiritual credit, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are talking about spiritual credit, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and all of that good stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into today's topic. And good morning to everyone out there, wherever you are in the world, or evening, whenever you're seeing this. So, spiritual credit, like financial credit, is like financial credit. It is based on your, your finances, your spending habits, things of that nature. Same thing with spiritual credit. Spiritual credit is based on your of how you're handling your your the say if somebody pulled your spiritual credit report, so to speak. You would have on there, maybe your prayer life, how you meditate, how you're naturally handling all of the spiritual gifts that you have, how you're handling your spiritual journey. Did you just throw it to the side? Are you building relationships, with, let's say, if you if let's say if you have a spiritual business, so to speak, and we're talking about spiritual credit, ladies and gentlemen. If are you building relationships with, let's say, with your spiritual, with your spiritual guides, would whomever they may be, whatever you believe in. I like to preference that. Let's just say for me, let's say, I would, and we're talking about spiritual credit, ladies and gentlemen, spiritual credit. And I am Mr. Soul of a Man 504. You're a spiritual consultant. So, yeah. So, let's say if somebody pulled my spiritual credit report, they would look at, okay, what is his relationship like with, what is his prayer life like? Are you using your gifts in the right way, or in the righteous way? Is he thankful for what he has? Let's say my spiritual credit score. What's a great credit score? Like, I don't know. Say my credit score was in the, I don't know, in the 800s. That's like excellent spiritual credit. I'm doing everything. that I am. I'm doing everything that I am supposed to be doing, and then some. So then that's it. That means that I have a great spiritual report. But let's say if you pull somebody's spiritual credit report, and it's kind of like, it is just way down there, and they're not doing so well, then you're wondering, like, what can you do to pick up that spiritual credit, so to speak. And that is to, one thing is, you can meditate more. Bring your you can bring your balance up. That's very, very, very important, because sometimes when people go through, when people, not just your spiritual journey, but in life, things happen. People, things can happen out of the ordinary. And a lot of the spiritual journey, a lot of things do happen. A lot of cool things happen, and things in general. You may start to see things. You become aware. You really become aware of what it is. You really and truly become aware out here of what it is, your journey. You get a higher perspective of life. And that helps you become more conscious. You become more spiritual. You become, I love what my cousin said the other day. From we're going from like from spiritual awareness to more, let's say, self-awareness. Not to say that you're not still on your spiritual journey, but today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about spiritual credit. And I would Well, I would ask the question, how does your spiritual credit look? How do you feel that it looks? Are you using uh, what you have in a great and a righteous way? Seriously, are you tapping into all of your gifts? Are you looking over the fence to say like, man, are you looking over the fence to say like, man, the grass is greener over there, so man, I kind of wish it looked like, but you never know what that person went through to get to where they naturally are. Like, let's say if I was to peek over the fence, people may have more followers than me, but they may not be more spiritually sounding grounded, than I am. So someone always has something. Everybody's life is different. The perspective, honestly, the perspective is going to be different. But it is, these are radical times. We got to get that. We got to get that spiritual credit score up. We do. We have all of we have all of this. We have all of this power that is inside of us. And one thing is just to be thankful for naturally what you have. And being able to recognize who you are on this journey is very important to that. It's very, very, very important to that. Giving honor. How are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of your daily duties, so to speak? But in references, it's very your spiritual credit, which is staple to your spiritual journey, is very important. Are you passing this journey with, well, I don't want to say with flying colors, but are you just kind of like bumping your head and, and just kind of going with it? And I mean, there is naturally no roadmap to it. There, really and truly, there is no roadmap to it. But the important thing is that you want to get that, you want to get that spiritual credit score up. You want to get it, um, you want to get it to the point where it is excellent. You're in excellent standing with your spiritual guides. Do you how is your relationship with them? How is heck, how is your relationship with yourself? These are important questions that you have to ask yourself, on this journey. These are things that you naturally have to tackle. That's just what it is. It is that, um, I love and light. That's just a buzzword. It's there can be some dark days on this journey because you're going through it. It's you. It's your perception of reality. And thank you for joining me. We're talking about spiritual credit. So if you see this now, or if you see some clips of it later, but what is your perception of reality in your spiritual journey? What does it look like to you? What does it feel like to you? I can give you examples, but it's gonna look and feel different. But I asked the question, what is the relationship like between you and your spiritual guides? For me, that starts with God. That starts with my angel guides, and Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and then my ancestors, and everyone else that is there for me, because it opens up the doors and the realms of the possibilities, because I hear story after story after story after story to know that this is real, that this is, there are people out there who don't believe. That's okay. That's their journey, but for me, I talk about it because I know that it's real, and I know that it is so real in a sense, because this isn't a world of make believe. These these beings are real. For me, the afterlife is real. What you're doing now sets a grander stage for what happens, when we check out of here. But we don't want to think about that because we still have a lot more living to do, and we still have a lot more to do, so to speak. And that it is just it is just tried and true, that you have to it would be very important that that you be patient with this, that you be patient with the process, because a lot of times, on the flip side, the process is really and truly being patient with you. It really and truly is. I know sometimes people talk about, hey, manifest and blah blah blah. Some things we can get quick. Like I've had instances where I was thinking about somebody, the phone rings, or I am thinking about food, and maybe later on that day, if I was working or something like that, somebody treats you to lunch, or somebody, management, they order the food that you were thinking about, you know. Um, so it's there are times where there are like things that you think about if you are like tapped in like that, like let's say if your spiritual credit is very high, uh, you can really truly call things in quick. You can, but some of the bigger things and the bigger picture and the bigger perspective of it is that it takes time, really and truly. Let me move this so I am looking like this. Yeah. Yeah. So naturally it takes time. So that's why I was saying, the patience is a virtue. It really, really, really is. When I go to the gym, and I'm happy that I'm taking my health more serious, and I have a little bit more time to do that. That's great. But that's naturally on me. I have to do that. I don't have anybody else to say like, oh, come on, let's go work out today, and blah blah blah. So that's it's 100% on me. It's all in what you want. But with this journey, you got to be all in. That's just you have to be all in with you have to be all in with your journey, because it is a commitment while you're living your life, while you're going through while you're naturally going through everything that you are while you're going through. And thank you so much for the likes, and thank you guys so much for sticking around and listening. But yeah, but again, your what is your spiritual credit? Again, what does your spiritual credit look like? A lot of that is within a journey. People always say, well, spiritual journey is the journey of the self. It's the you have to do healing work. There's a lot of, you may be there you may have a family who there may be alcoholism, there may be some type of abuse, and you're the one, you're like, what, that's not going to happen between me and my family, my kids. So you cut that, you cut that cord, you stop that. And maybe you're that chosen one, for whatever perspective that you have, right? It is very much so it's very much so it's very much so a healing journey. It is very much so about your belief. What is it that you are wanting? Who is it that you are believing in? Again, for me, I um believe in God, and I believe in Jesus, my ancestors, and all of that. I get the hierarchy of it. I do. I understand that everybody believes in something, and that's okay. I've learned across the board, and across the spectrum. Like we can, like I can sit down and relax and meditate like the Buddhists, or pray so many times a day like the Muslims. So there's so much out there that we can learn from each other. But the important thing is your journey, where you are, and how you're feeling about it. And I am a spiritual consultant. If you guys would like to book a spiritual consultation, just go to the link in my bio. But it is very important in retrospect for you to have a great spiritual credit. For you to have great spiritual credit, because it's it's almost like if they give you something and you're great with it. They're like, okay, well, cool. They handled that amazingly well. And you're in thanks. You're in gratitude. Um, you're honoring them. You honor them with your walk. Really and truly you honor those that came before you, and also those that have come after you for your walk. Because how are they going to look at your life? Be like, wow, this person had all of the skills and opportunity in the world. They take advantage of it. They feels like they had the knowledge, but they just didn't apply it. So it is overtime for you just to start to apply these things. When I was deep in the church, nobody told me about applying scriptures to your life to open up all of these spiritual doors. To call things in to existence. It says God spoke and so it was. So, and you have that, you have those same abilities. Because isn't it interesting how the child can be just like the father, even if you may not, say like somebody who grew up in the foster care system, and they may still have attributes of they may not know their grandparents and their great grandparents and maybe their parents, but they still have those mannerisms, the way of thinking. It's like it really and truly blows the mind, and it's amazing. And that's a powerful thing. But I said that to say that we are I know that I'm God's child. I know that. I really and truly know that. Yes, I do have my doubts and worries and whatever, but it's not as much as it once was, because now I know how to handle it. And again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as we talk about spiritual credit. So, but the relationship, I cannot stress that enough. The relationship between who watches over you and in the spiritual sense, and now over here, it's very important for you to establish that relationship. Acknowledge their presence in your prayers, in your meditations, in your manifestations. I think sometimes we do have to check our egos, because I get it. You can feel so powerful. You can feel so, because you're a natural projector. You can do this or you can do that. Okay, so can other people. And that's, things that things that were seen as science fiction are becoming science fact now, because we know that there are other world out there, and all of that other stuff. So so know that you're powerful. Know it. Not in a egocentric way, but walk like you are somebody, like you should be holding your head up high, every day, like you walk in that room like you deserve to, walk in that room like you deserve to be there, because people don't know what you had to go through to get to that, to get to that moment. That's that's the thing. Even though maybe sometimes those conversations may be a little short, don't think that people can't feel who you are, and don't think that people don't know who you are when you walk. Yeah. So the trials are attributed to your value. So basically, the more you have been through, the more you feel like things have been taken away from you, the rugs that have been pulled under you. Um, Moving forward, you're gonna get all of that stuff, back, and then and then some. Yeah, so you're gonna get all of that stuff. It's just more, man, and it's just moving forward for you, moving forward for you in your life. It looks amazing. It really does, and you're going to thank yourself. So if you're somebody who's watching now, really start journaling, start writing stuff down, the ideas that you're getting right. Your dreams, the that unlimited potential that you have. Something is calling you and pulling you right now. Something is pulling you to apply for something different. So it is time. It is overtime for you to go forward and to apply for. It is overtime for you to apply for something different. Maybe this is the time for you to realize who you are. There. What I'm getting is self promotion. And self promotion and self preservation. Because it's time for you to move forward. It has been time for you to be moving forward. Some of you have been thinking about this journey, this jump. Steve Harvey talked about it. He talking about jump, the leap of faith. Really and truly, that is so much more important for you now more than ever. Because if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you. That's the thing. You have to. We are in a great time of obedience. We have to be in obedience. We there's so much that you want, and I'm sure you can say yes, so much that you want. I can sit there and talk to you till I'm blue in the face. I can say, hey, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. But until you move forward and take that leap, whatever that quantum leap is. I remember that TV show. I think they remade it recently, Quantum Leap, where the guy jumps into different people's bodies and stuff every episode, and he relives their lives. So, for you're leaping forward. So there's no, and that forward leap, that's your new home. That's the new friendships. Those new adventures. The fact that you're saying, what, not going to settle anymore. Because again, we're talking about, I know my spiritual credit is great. I know that those who watch over me, they have my back 100%, and there's no stopping. It is all about the moving forward. It is about the commitment. This is strongly and intentionally for you. This is really and truly, for you, moving forward. So, are you going to say yes to all of the great things that you want in life, or if you are where you are, and you're like, I got a good thing going, I'm just gonna stay here, let's see how it works out. Okay, cool. But there are going to be those who are just going to be bold in the times that we're living in, when kind of does feel like Rome is burning. But that is a different topic for a different. It's a different topic for a different time. But if you have any questions and you're watching me, if you have any questions about life spirituality, just put it in the on the screen in the inbox, and I'll take care of it. But so yeah, the revealing, the revealing of your dreams, the revealing of your dreams is in the now. What's coming is not temporary. You're talking about moving forward in your life. What is going on, the GOAT? How are you? What is going on, Phoenix? The Phoenix is rising, man. The Phoenix is rising. So I can, man. So moving forward, you're You have to know and understand that you matter. Though some of us may not be in the, may not be financial. It could be, oh, I am good. I am good. I am very, very, very good. Miracle Prayer. I love that name, man. But yeah, moving forward. Mm, so you're God's display of, your unlimited potential, your unlimited love, your unlimited peace, how you handle yourself in situations. People are going to be asking you questions. They're going to be asking you, like, how are you, man, like, what happened that, you handled that so well? Like, how did you do that? Like, how did you move? How do you move like you move? Like, people are going to be coming to you asking questions, man. They're going to wonder who you are, or what you're selling, and how can they buy it? Like, how whatever you're, like, whatever you're pouring into a cup, they're like, how much, and how soon can I get it? Because um you're such a wonderment now. You're such an amazing divine piece of this puzzle. And again, folks, if you want to book a spiritual consultation with yours truly, just go to the link in my bio. But yeah, but that you have more. It's just that you have more peace coming, and your peace is worth well more than its weight in gold. Well more than its weight in gold. You have been waiting on something. You've been waiting on some news. I'm getting that someone is going to get some amazing news in the next few days. This news is very important because it's really and truly going to help to change your life. It's really and truly. And thank you for tapping the screen. Thank you for tapping the screen, and thank you for showing up. So, just like I told myself, I need to be committed. While I have this free time now to go live and talk to people and X, Y, and Z. But it's important that it's important that we show up. Come to this, Trevor. Just shit want me. Yeah. So that feels just physical, just kind of like those more intimate moments. For who question for constant. So yeah, but again, let's get our credit scores. Let's continue to build. I'm getting a lot of people are going to be very, yeah, sorry. A lot of people are going to be financially free, very, very, very soon. So, and again, if you ask not, you have not. So it's time to start asking. But remember, when you start getting these things, they say everything has a price. That's very true. So you're going to have to be very diligent. And, it's going to take some work. It is, that's not a bad thing. This work is going to really and truly help you to level up. So yeah. Man, I feel like I've been sitting here talking for like a whole hour. And when I talk, folks, there's no script. I just kind of flow with it and let it be what it's going to be. But yes, spiritual credit, ladies and gentlemen, having a relationship with yourself is very, very important. Also, having acknowledging your guides, knowing that you are not alone, and knowing that you are not alone in this process, being thankful for what you have right now. Getting yourself together, get your health, your inner peace, all of that stuff. All of that stuff is important. The information that you're getting now, it's not for everyone. That is not for you to, especially if it's personal stuff, something that you've been waiting on. I was like that too. I get some news, I get excited, I would want to go and tell the world. Now, not so much, unless it's like a project or something that I'm working on, or something where I would feel like people would benefit from it. But other than that, okay. So the more value you have in your journey, the more enlightened and the more powerful you're going to become. So, I do have a course that helps people understand their spiritual gifts and how to use them. So, if you would like to, tap in with that, inbox me on here or send me an email. My email is, out. It's the link is in the bio, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so but anyway, let me see. Looks like I got some let's see. Um yeah, no, just saying that it's what's the name of that song? Who's sing Donna Summer? She was like physical. I'm not a singer. You wanna get physical? Let me hear your body talk. So that like that. It's like that. It's it's physical. Well, thank you. I'm glad that someone likes to hear me talk. Was in for you. There we go. Yeah, becoming more the goal, becoming more introspective. Feels like you have a trip coming up very, very, very soon. They're saying pack your bags. Oh, so you could be speaking at some conferences, stuff, maybe some stuff deals like reality in a very near future. But it feels like your perspective is changing. This is talking to so your perspective. Once your perspective changes, you get that curiosity. Once that curiosity peaks, you're like, let me see what's going on with this, and everything changes and all of that good stuff. And that is amazing, man. That's amazing how that works. So yeah. Let's see. Uh, oh, cool. No, John. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So, all right. Yeah, man. But I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, folks. I'll be back on here later on tonight. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for tapping in and all of that good stuff. But as always, folks, I'm Mr. Sullivan Man 504. Always I am out there.